Well, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and when it comes to anti-aging, the secret may be your mother.
Yeah, genetics plays a big role with aging, so take a look at how your mom's face has aged to get a glimpse at your own future. But there are steps you can take to slow down the aging process, too. Michelle Fink is a medical assistant and cosmetic specialist at Sutton Ryan Dermatology and Aesthetic Center, and she took a look at my face last week and is sharing the results today. And nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you again.
Yes, it's great.
So I came in, took the makeup off, you took a look at my face, and what happens, Michelle, as our faces age, as we age?
Well, kind of what I explain is that, you know, we kind of in our youth have this nice pear-shaped face, and then with birthdays and genetics, you know, we inherit our skin type, but we do our own damage, and just sun damage alone, we lose volume. And where we lose our volume is mostly kind of in the mid-face area. Therefore, we go from that nice pear shape to kind of a peanut head. And then what happens is our skin, I kind of do an analogy as far as it's like a tablecloth. It becomes now too large for the table. So what we like to do is to build the table back up so that that tablecloth fits much better.
Well, first of all, when we went to your office,
Yes.
Taryn had a skin consultation first. So tell us a little bit about what went on there.
Well, you know, the skin consultations are the most critical. What we try to get from our patients, mostly what I start with is what is it when you look in the mirror that bothers you? And then we go into what we can do to enhance that. And much of it can be done non-surgical.
Okay, and we're looking at some video right now of that.
Yes.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, where would you say my skin is?
I would say yours is about a 3. What this machine, the skin scan, does is kind of shows us the polarization and the UV, which are any reds that we get from sun damage, or in your case, you had a little vessel that we know we could treat, and then as well as the UV damage, which would be kind of the brown spots or freckles. Freckles really are sun damage. And so yours, actually, you must have protected yourself well in your youth, because you did not look as bad as what we have seen.
And there's a little red vessel there underneath my
underneath
right eye.
the right eye.
And you said that could be zapped with a laser.
A laser takes care of that. Typically one, sometimes a second treatment, but then that's gone completely. And as far as the brown spots go, you know, the #1 anti-aging product is sunscreen. And the studies have shown that we should wear nothing less than an SPF of 30 every day. But the key, and I think we've educated people well enough now that they're doing that, but I think where people kind of slack a little bit is the reapplication when you're out in the sun.
Yeah, I know. I tried to stay away from the sun in my teen years. In my 20s, I did a little bit of the sun tanning booth.
We all did.
Yeah, and now, you know, I go to ball games for my son. I try to wear the ball cap, but you said the sun can still hit you.
Right, so, you know, when people talk about wearing caps, I said that's great, but I'll bet you it's not wide-brimmed, because when you're talking about a visor or a cap, it really is just kind of that angle. So much of our sun damage appears along the periphery of our skin, and so the wide-brimmed hat does a much better job of protecting that.
So moving on, there's Botox.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Is that something you can do? Is that something that people shouldn't be afraid of doing?
Don't be afraid to do it. The botulinum toxins, what they do is they relax that muscle, and the more significant locations are kind of in this area between the eyes. That it can give us a look of
A
scowl, yeah, scowl or anger or frustration, and if you can put a little botulinum toxin in there, it relaxes that. You will still be able to make expressions. It's just that when you do, that particular muscle won't move like you want it to.
And you were saying,
And
for me,
that's-
I may want to consider that at some point. Also, the fills.
Yes. The fillers then in areas, a lot of people lose volume again underneath the eye area. And so we have many patients that come in stating that they look tired, or people tell them they look tired, or maybe they don't feel well. Or they come in complaining of the dark circles. And a lot of that isn't necessarily dark skin circles, but more of a shadow, because you've lost the volume in that area. So they'll come in and say, hey, do you have a concealer to help cover those dark circles? When actually what they kind of want is spackling to kind of fill that in. So filling materials such as, that we have an array of them, Juvederm, Restylane, those are some different types. By filling in that area from underneath, then it kind of gives you a more level look, so that you don't have quite that shadow in the area.
good to know.
So these all enhance. They're just enhancing.
They're all enhancing.
Yes.
And so come meet with you and
Come
find out
meet
where
with
to
me.
go.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you,
Yes.
Michelle.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Michelle.